to meet the needs of Canadians. The Honourable Minister, as I said before, 95% of infrastructure belongs to the provinces and the municipalities, but they only pay 2/3 of the cost. That means that we are playing a very active role in funding infrastructure. We recently announced $5 billion for federal infrastructure. I would invite the cities and particularly the provinces to continue to make efforts around infrastructure. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now let's get the math right. 2/3 of the funds for infrastructure are spent by provinces and municipalities, but they only receive half the tax revenues. Infrastructure keeps our cities safe and functioning, and it drives the economy. But funding cuts by both Conservative and Liberal governments have left our cities badly in need of investment. And now we have a minister from Toronto who says it would be crazy to improve infrastructure. Does the minister really believe Torontonians deserve nothing better than gridlock and crumbling infrastructure?
Yes. The Honourable Minister of Infrastructure.
Mr. Speaker, our government has introduced the largest and longest infrastructure plan in Canadian history, with $75 billion in public infrastructure the next decade, including $53 billion in new building Canada for provincial, territorial and municipal infrastructure. We have recently announced, the Prime Minister have announced, new infrastructure funding to deal with federal infrastructure. We encourage provinces to do the same in regards to their infrastructure.
The Honourable Member for Parkdale High Park.
Well, the sad truth is nothing now for transit, but billions to hand out to Canada's richest families. Now, Conservatives have ignored our growing infrastructure deficit, and they're trying to also ignore mounting job losses. But the retail closures continue. Mex, 95 stores. Jones, New York, 36 stores. Sony, 14 stores. Target, 133 stores. And that's just January 2015. This is what happens when you have no jobs plan and when you fail to stand up for workers. What's the minister going to do about it? Delay the budget even more?
Very good. The Honourable Minister of Employment.
Mr. Speaker, our jobs plan has resulted in one of the best employment records in the developed world since the global downturn. Just to give you a couple of examples, Mr. Speaker, the apprenticeship grants that we've delivered over $700 million, 500,000 apprenticeship grants, the apprenticeship job creation tax credit, the tradesperson's tools tax credit, supporting Red Seal harmonization across the country, the new job bank, job alerts, microloans for foreign trained professionals so they can get their credentials recognized, the targeted initiative for older workers, enhancements in Aboriginal training programs, and on, Mr. Speaker.